Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. In the past, we've talked about the timeline of a typical land sale, where you as the seller own the property and we're able to sign that purchase agreement, send it off to title and close on it, and you get your cash in 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending on how long the title company takes. Today, I'm going to go through and walk you through a timeline of a particular land seller we're working with right now, which is a much more complicated land sale, okay? So we had, he'd received a letter from us earlier this summer, so that was close to 6.5 months ago, with an offer to purchase his land. He finally got back with us this fall and said he, wanted to, sell his land. We looked at the property. There were a lot of issues with his property. Was there legal access to the property was a question. There were heirship issues. This was passed down for multiple generations. There was eminent domain, where the state of Texas came in and purchased part of his property for an interstate to go through it. So there are a lot of issues that we worked through. However, with that said, within a week, we were able to get him a purchase agreement, which he and his sister signed, and we sent that to title, okay? So the closing date was supposed to be the end of this month. We put a closing date of about 5 weeks on there because of the complications of his property. Well, we found out that there was no survey on file, and a whole new survey needs to be done in order to address some of these issues. So surveyors come back with the holidays here at stake. It's been pushed back to the end of January, okay, mid to end of January for a closing date. That way the surveyor can get out there, he can survey the property, write a new legal description to provide to that title company, and then title's going to have to close. So the goal is to close mid-January, but we've thrown a date on there, end of January, as a just-in-case measure. So if you look at this, from the time he received the letter and decided to call us back, it took him several months to actually decide to move forward and sell his property. And that's totally fine. That should be his right to make a decision on what he wants to do. Again, in a week, we were able to get him a purchase agreement after going through some of those issues. And instead of closing in about 5 to 6 weeks, it's going to look like more like a 2-month to 2.5-month close for his complicated property. Now, the property's not closed yet. Okay, we're still waiting on the surveyor to get out there. We're still waiting on the title company. But where we're at, it looks like we will be at 2.5 months to close on the property. He and his sister are going to get a game-changing amount of money for them. They're really excited about this. They're excited that they don't have to pay property taxes again on the property that they're not using. And so it's kind of a win-win situation. In any case, I wanted to walk you through that. If you have any questions about what the timeline might look like for your particular property that you're interested in selling, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to look at your property and answer any questions that you might have. Thanks again for listening.